All right, guys, here we go. Another edition of the Cerebral Smacktalk Special Edition. Welcome to the recap of tables, ladders, and chairs. This is it. The final special event pay-per-view WWE Network versus SmackDown Live brand. How did they do tonight? What was the sentiments of everybody on the show? Well, you're going to find out right here, right now, live. A three-person weave is going to do this. Anthony Florio, Dee Woodson, and Michael Bullock, they're going to run it right here tonight. I'm going to gauntlet style, guys. So we're going to go hard. We're going to go with some amazing action. Did they deliver? Final pay-per-view of the year for them. We'll find out right now. So with that said, we started off with a pre-show fight. It was a 10-man tag team match. The Hype Bros, American Alpha, and Apollo Crews versus the Vaudevillains, the Ascension, and Kurt Hawkins. And the face team wins. Mojo Rawley, Zack Ryder, Chad Gable, Jason Jordan, and Apollo Crews all get the victory at 12 minutes and 3 seconds. We're not going to waste too much time about it. It's a pre-show fight. Let's get into the meat of it. We started off with the tag team titles on the line. It was the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, with Luke Harper in their corner, going up against the reigning, defending WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Beauty and the Beast, Heath Slater, and the Man Beast Rhino, the winner of the bout, and new WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Wyatt family, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, Anthony Florio. You lead off.
Hello, friends. Anthony Hitman Florio here with you for another edition of this pay-per-view recap edition of the Cerebral Smacktalk here as we review TLC tonight. 1 3/4 to 2 stars. That's all I can give the rating for this bout here. There sure wasn't much to it. It's clear in recent weeks Vince McMahon lost his infatuation with Slater and Rhino, and thus they lost all momentum. This was an anticlimactic conclusion to what had been a really fun storyline with Slater and Rhino, with where they want Orton and Wyatt to likely go heading into 2017, no matter what it was. No matter what, it was the right decision to have them go over strong here. It was clear, though, nothing was done to protect Rhino and Slater or preserve any sense there in the league of Orton and Wyatt. The run of the comedy duo is over, and I don't see them working with Orton and Wyatt in a prolonged feud simply because of the serious dynamic they are going for with the Wyatts. It's nice to see Bray win a title in WWE after a long wait. Only time will tell how long Orton's run with the Wyatt family lasts. They continued to play up tension between Orton and Harper after the match, even though Orton gave in and put the belt over Harper's shoulder. Very interesting dynamic right there. So it was about 5 minutes and 55 seconds to 6 minutes. Not much to the fight. I mean, I can honestly say it was the worst fight of the night, if I'm going to be real honest with you. I mean, I told you this fight wasn't going to be anything special. I told you that last night. So that's really all there is to say on that. So 1 3/4, 2 stars. That's the best I can give it. So with that being said, let's bring in the Phenom, Michael Bullock. Bullock, your thoughts on this opening match and we got new tag team champions, Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, to which we say, yeah, no big surprise. I believe we have this one.
Yeah, no big surprise here. I mean, we all pretty much knew that Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt were going to go over and become the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I'm actually going to give it 1.5 stars is my rating for the match. I mean, it was fine for what it was, but it was too short for my liking. I mean, I was really hoping to see more out of it. But, you know, it is what it is. And, I mean, we knew eventually that the run for Slater and Rhino was going to come to an end, and it did tonight. And, I mean, you could almost tell that there was dissension after the match with the Wyatt family, because with that little stare down with Randy Orton and Luke Harper, but he finally gave in and put the tag team titles on the shoulders of Luke Harper. So yeah, so 1.5 stars is my rating on the match. So Dee Woodson, come on in, give us your thoughts on the match.
I'll give it 1 3/4 stars. I agree, worst fight of the night. No, it wasn't a surprise. The Wyatt family pulled it off. Interesting ending, though, with Luke ending up holding the titles at the end in that final pose down. So that's about all I'm going to say about it. So just move on.
All right, guys, and we're going to go right into the next fight of the night, which was no disqualifications. Nikki Bella, one-on-one with Carmella. The winner of the bout was Nikki Bella at 7 minutes and 39 seconds, but Carmella did not leave this one going quietly into the night, as she possibly might have revealed who attacked Nikki Bella and knocked her out of the Survivor Series. According to Carmella, it was Natalya who jumped her. Now, could that be the girl that cried wolf? Or is Carmella correct? Was it Natalya all along that attacked Nikki? I guess the plot thickens as we head to SmackDown Live on Tuesday night. But until then, Michael Bullock, you lead off, my friend. What did you think about this match? And do you think that Carmella is accurate in her accusation?
All right. Yeah. As far as the match is concerned, I thought this was a good no disqualification match. Yeah. I think we could. I would have loved to see more out of it, but in the time it got, we saw a lot of weapons being used. We saw kendo sticks. We saw, I think the only thing we saw was like a kendo stick and even a fire extinguisher being used. And I'll give it about two, maybe teetering on 2.25. If I'm going to be quite honest here, the match was certainly good. And as far as with the bombshell that Carmella dropped with saying that Natalya was the one who did it, I think she was accurate. Because remember, there was an interview that was done with Natalya during the pay-per-view, and she really didn't sound like quite convincing, saying she had nothing to do with it. Well, I think it definitely was her. Because it's obvious why she did it. Because you could tell she felt like she should have been on the Survivor Series, the SmackDown Live team at the Survivor Series, instead of she was put as the coach, and she obviously felt that the best way to do it was to take out Nikki Bella, and I think she did. So we'll wait and see. I guess we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out come Tuesday night. So 2.25 stars is my rating on the match. So Twisted Angel, Dee Woodson, what says you?
I'll pretty much agree with the rating. How often can you say that a girls' match pretty much, was better than a tag team match, especially going for tag team titles? But of course, tonight, like we said a few minutes ago, the tag match very predictable and just no, it just lacked the luster for it. So, I'd have to say my favorite part of the match was when Nikki jumped off the barricade. Um, as far as Carmella, you know, the interview that Bullock brought up about Nikki with Natty is a lot later on in the show, but he's got a lot of points there that she really did not sound convincing. She really didn't, make anyone think that no, she's not guilty on it. So yeah, there's a very good chance that Carmella could be right on this. But either way, I don't think this is completely over between these two girls, but we'll have to wait and see what happens in the upcoming SmackDowns. But I definitely would not call this a ho-hum diva fight. They did put some effort into it, but as far as being a pay-per-view quality match, I think they could have done a little bit better and probably did a little bit more for there. But yeah, there was a lot of weapons used. There was a lot of action, but they could have added more time to this, and they could have let the girls go at it just a little bit more, and maybe we could give it a little bit higher rating. So, Flora, what's yours?
Solid 2 stars. I'm not gonna dilly-dally in between between ratings here. This is straight up 2 stars, no question about it. I was really enjoying the match before the silly fire extinguisher spot rather. JBL tried to explain that the substance gets in the eyes of the person being sprayed and they become disoriented, but it's just a silly finish. It's a shame because the match was very physical and lived up to the no DQ stipulation before the campiness of the fire extinguisher. I'm kind of hoping the Natalya announcement is a swerve. It's not that they won't have good matches if they stick with her as Nikki's mystery attacker, but it's very anticlimactic. For that matter, it's hard to take Natalya seriously when she has the cornball gimmick of reciting music lyrics. So, really all I can say on that, and to put a bow on it, clunky, but intense in a way that fit the feud. So, that's all I can say about it. Solid 2 stars. That's my rating for it. So, with that being said, MF, let's move on to what we said last night was going to be one of the top 2 fights of the night. And boy, howdy, did it deliver.
Did it deliver and then some for the Intercontinental title? It was The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler in a ladder match. The winner of the bout and still the Intercontinental Champion, The Miz. You got the good fortune of leading off on this fight. What did you think about the ladder match?
Honestly, I thought it was a very awesome match. I got so into it, I didn't even take notes. So, which is kind of surprising, but I will give hats off to the fact that Maurice did not get involved this time. She did stay on the outside. She didn't even distract the ref. She pretty much kind of did what, they're supposed to do and just, be there to support her husband, but not jump into the match. So I will give her hats off for that. But it was a very good match. Not much more I can say about it other than, I'm going to give it a solid 4 stars. So, Florio, what's yours?
Right there with you, Didi Woodson. Solid 4 stars indeed. I mean, yeah. I mean, what an incredible ladder match. I mean, just second best fight of the night. It was a very good ladder match. They took some chances, but not an excessive number, so each big spot counted. There were a number of creative exchanges and sequences that worked within the story of the bout and seemed like potential finishes. Let me see what else do I have here. It was a really good match with good drama. Definitely had some Shakespearean drama built into it, no doubt about it. And that I don't think it was a gimme that Miz would retain the title. The finish was true to Miz's character and the ongoing storyline of him taking shortcuts and failing to earn respect from Daniel Bryan. David Otunga acted bothered by the way Miz won, while JBL was there to take the side of the heel by pointing out that it was legal in a ladder match. who knows if this really was the end of the feud, but it's been so much better than I ever imagined it would be when they brought it back on SmackDown. It's not that I had doubts about their abilities. It's that we'd seen them work together so many times that it felt stale at the start. Miz being drafted to SmackDown and developing an edge is one of the best things that's happened to the brand. And him and Daniel Bryan, if you haven't watched, I've also been keeping a little bit of an eye on the Talking Smack as well. And I got to tell you, man, Miz and Bryan are at it again. Oh boy, you know that's always some fun stuff right there. So yeah, so I'm very pleased with that. It got 25 minutes as well. And it's hard to believe that I know a lot of people say 25-minute match. That's normally recipe for fight of the night. Oh no. Normal 9 times out of 10 it is, but this is the one time it's not. I can only say second best fight of the night. And I'm actually going to tweak my rating just a smidgen here. I'm going to give it between 4 to 4.25 stars. That's my actual rating. It is the second best fight of the night, no question about it. I should have listened to my gut in this case. This one time I listened to my heart and I got burned. MF was right when we did our preview last night. MF had Miz retaining, and I had Dolph Ziggler winning the title again, based on his major success at TLC over the years, but not this time. So, what's next? Are they? I mean, is this really the blow off, or are they going to find a new challenger for Miz? And if so, who? Who? I don't know. I really don't know right now. So that's all I can say on it. So, well done, Miz. Well done, Dolph Ziggler. Hell of a match. You tore it down. I knew you would. But you just missed stealing the show. Just missed it. Normally you steal the show. This is the one time you actually didn't. Although you guys did a great job. Well done. 4 to 4.25 stars. Second best fight of the night. Hard to believe. So, with that being said, Michael Bullock, ladder match. The Miz, Dolph Ziggler. Did they deliver in your eyes?
Oh yes, they definitely did deliver, and I agree. Second best fight of the night. I'll give it an even 4 stars as well. Yeah, I mean, I liked the. I mean, it was an awesome back and forth, and I liked some of the ways the ladder was being used, including the Miz, of course, using the figure 4 leg lock with the ladder. So, oof. That had to hurt. That had to be painful to actually be put in a figure 4 with the ladder being used for leverage. So yeah, so what's next for the Miz? Does he get a new challenger? Well, we'll just have to wait and find out come Tuesday night on SmackDown Live. So yeah, so 4 stars is my rating. So with that being said, Fletch, let's just move on to our next match.
And normally after a real hot fight, you need a cool down match. And I believe I got a cool down fight for all you guys. So let's try this one on for size. Baron Corbin goes one-on-one with Kalisto in a chairs match. Baron Corbin, the winner, at 12 minutes and 51 seconds. Anthony Florio, you lead off.
With all due respect, MF, this was not a cool down match.
Really?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to be real honest with you. I mean, how many times do I say on the show, I'm the man who tells it like it is? Well, I'm going to tell it like it is right here and now. Best chairs match I've ever seen. That's how good this was. I mean, usually when we hear chairs match, you're thinking, oh, boring, snooze, what have you. I'm guessing you had work commitments tonight, MF, like you usually do on Sunday nights. But you got to go out of your way and watch this match. I'm not saying it's a 5-star classic or anything. No, it was not a 5-star classic. But it was the best chairs match I ever saw. The spots in this match were just absolutely amazing. And, I mean, we had some tope suicidas, a la Moro Ronaldo, which you know how much I love those. what happens was Kalisto goes for that tope suicida, but Corbin caught him in midair and hit him with a deep six on the outside. And then what happens here, Kalisto goes up on the top and dives at Corbin, but Corbin hits him with a chair shot to the face in the midair. But the spot of the match was the way Baron Corbin won the bout. The end of days onto a pile of chairs in the middle of the ring. There were a whole ton of chairs in the ring. I mean, it was almost like we had an ECW riot, for goodness sakes. MF, you and Derek Ferrera, you know all about those now, don't you? From your days.
I know about the pile of chairs moment. Oh my God, an end of days on that. Didn't I tell you it was probably going to end with an end of days on a chair? Oh
Yep.
my God.
Yeah, you did. When we ran the show last night, that's exactly what we said. You said it, and I went with you, and I'm not at all surprised you got that one right. So, yeah, it was Baron Corbin. Corbin was the one responsible for it. I mean, but what happened? But there was another spot where Kalisto was up top, and he hit a diving seated senton that drove Corbin backward through all the chairs in the ring. I mean, just amazing. And I know in many years, in all the years since they started this TLC event back in 2009, the chairs match was always the one that people were like, yeah, this was not good, whatever. No. Take it from the man who tells it like it is here tonight. This was the best chairs match ever. And MF, I strongly suggest when you have time, because I know how busy you are, work commitments and all that, I get it. But when you have a moment, you sit down and you watch this match. And when you do, I guarantee you will agree with me that this was the best chairs match ever. And it's going to reflect in my overall rating. Like I said, not a 5-star classic by any means. But I know this rating might surprise some people, but I don't care. I'm the one who says it like it is. That's what I do. 3.5 stars. Best chairs match ever. Michael Bullock, how do you follow that?
Man, I mean, I thought this was a very good a chairs match, and I agree, best one ever. And I'll give it about 3 to 3.5 stars as my rating on the match. I mean, some people going into this match, they were thinking, yeah, it's gonna be a snoozer, it's gonna be boring, but no, it actually wasn't boring. I mean, I enjoyed it myself. I mean, I enjoyed some of the 6 spots that we saw. I mean, especially with Kalisto. But what Baron Corbin did with that chair shot as Kalisto was going for another high-flying maneuver, but he stopped him there, and then the end of days on the pile of chairs, I should say. Whew. Man, that was sick. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. I mean, 3 to 3.5 stars, and I'll go as far as to say sleeper fight of the night. That's how far as I'm going to go. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything special coming out of this, but no, I mean, they really impressed me. So, great job, Baron Corbin. Great job, Kalisto. And I'll even go as far as to say this was the best match of their rivalry. So nothing else to say except Dee Woodson. What says you?
I'll go with 3 1/4 stars. I really thought, it was going to be a squash match with Corbin being so much taller than Kalisto, but Kalisto definitely knew how to use the chairs to make them a very good equalizer in the whole match. Some very awesome moves on it. So yeah, it was definitely one of the better chair matches that I think I've ever seen. So I'm not going to say much more to it than that. So just move on.
All right. The next one we have was a tables match for WWE SmackDown Women's title. The champion, Becky Lynch, my girl, goes up against Anthony Florio's August 9th. Very, very capable champion herself, Alexa Bliss. Tables matches, very rare for the women, but this is one of the few exceptions. And ladies and gentlemen, if anybody thought this was going to be anything, you're not going to believe what I'm about to say. The winner of the bout, and new WWE SmackDown Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss. She is your new champion, Michael Bullock. You lead off.
Man, oh man, I mean, I don't think anybody saw this coming, but I'll be quite honest. I mean, I saw it coming because, I knew Alexa Bliss was going to win because, don't get me wrong, Becky Lynch has had a nice run with the SmackDown Women's title, but it's eventually time to take that title off, and this was finally the night, and yeah, I mean, it was definitely a great match here, and yeah. So as far as my rating for the match, let me pull it up. But the women really fought hard in this match, and definitely, we saw all the near times that they were going to get put through a table, but it took the Alexa Bliss with a power bomb to basically a power bomb through the table, and yeah, and there you have it. Alexa Bliss is now the new SmackDown Women's Champion, and yeah, I'm going to give it about a 3.5 star rating. I thought it was good. It was good for what it was, and yeah, I mean, Alexa Bliss, her first ever title, of course, on SmackDown Live, first overall in WWE. Because remember, she once challenged Bayley for the NXT women's title over at NXT, and of course, she came up short on that. So, and I did watch Talking Smack, and she was a little emotional and in her interview, and she basically said that she had her parents there, and this was like her mom's first time ever at a WWE event to see her daughter in action, and she must be one proud mama to see her daughter become the new SmackDown Live Women's Champion. So what's next for Alexa? Obviously, there's going to be a rematch between a rematch clause for Becky Lynch, where she'll get another shot at the SmackDown Live Women's title. And then where do we go from here after that? I'll tell you who I think will be next in line after her feud with Becky Lynch is over. I think it's going to be somewhere down the road. I think it's going to be Nikki Bella who gets that opportunity. I mean, that's just my opinion on it. So 3.5 stars is I'll say 3.5 to 3.75 of a star. I'm actually I'll tweak it and say 3.75. That's how far I'm going. So, Twisted Angel, Dee Woodson, did this match really impress you?
Actually, yeah, it did. It was definitely one of the better tables matches I've seen the ladies actually do. And, just watching them stop just mere minutes before they would go through a table and try to do an about face. I mean, it's just hilarious to see it. But at the same time, it's amazing that they're able to actually have, that ability to get maybe inches away from being in that table and just turn around and, go on with the match. There was definitely a lot of action in here. Me personally, I'm not too surprised that Alexa won it because, of course, Dynamite comes in small packages, and this little 5'3" diva definitely has that ability. And if you did watch the pre-show, she did the little interview there where the fans got to ask questions, and the one that stuck in my mind was they asked about her influences, and she said Trish Stratus and Rey Mysterio, and you could definitely see a little bit um, of them in her style as she went through the match. But hats off to her, congratulations to her. As far as the rating, I'll agree with Bullock on there. I mean, it was a very good match, very surprising that it went so well. I'll probably give it like the third best match of the night. So that's about all I have to say about it. So, Florio, it's yours.
3 stars, solid 3 stars. That's the rating I'm going to give it. I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, I know I went against the grain. I know I agree with MF. Shouldn't have done that. I should have had more faith in Alexa Bliss, my girl. But she did it. Alexa Bliss, the new SmackDown Women's Champion. It wasn't a fluky spot like we saw with Sheamus and John Cena back in 2009, which gave Sheamus the WWE Championship and all that. We all remember that. But no, they worked very hard, and they had to overcome a disinterested crowd early. I felt that they kept the intensity of the feud here and overall played to the stipulation well. If they could have filled in 3 blanks a bit better, the match comes off even better. It was good, but it was far from great. They never seemed to get the crowd fully invested in cheering Lynch or even reacting like you'd have expected. The effort was there, although it felt a bit methodical at times instead of grueling, which was their intent. And I assume that was their intent. And one other quick note before we put this match to bed. Solid match with a semi-surprising finish. I picked Lynch to win, but I think we all felt like the odds of Bliss winning increased significantly when they added the table stipulation. Live crowd was just sort of there. It was similar to the last match in that they were watching, but it just didn't seem like they were invested in either character. But we were. So that's all there is to say on that. So, man, oh man, I mean, this is awesome. I mean, Alexa Bliss, women's champion. I mean, she never got that chance in NXT. She only had one shot against Bayley, and she bombed. But here, she's now the WWE SmackDown Live Women's Champion, and I couldn't be any more proud of my fellow August 9th birth mate. If you haven't been watching the show, I've mentioned many of times Alexa Bliss and I share a birthday. We were both born on August 9th. I'm older than her by 8 years. And, yeah, so I feel bad. I mean, my heart breaks for Becky Lynch. I mean, she had a nice run. I thought they were going to give her a little more of a run there. But, 3 months is good enough. That's all there is to say about it. And no controversy, unlike what we had in Scotland. So that's really all I can say on that. So, yeah, MF, how'd that work out for you? My girl beat your girl. Simple as that. So there's nothing left for me to say on it, but solid 3 stars. Well done for a well done effort. No question about it. And, I guess my little joke worked. From last night, if you saw the funny joke I put in about last night, which I'm not going to try to rehash, but hey, awesome, man. That's all I can say on that. So sky's the limit now. So what else is there to say except, the Talking Smack. I actually caught her on the Talking Smack, and she may be a biatch on the show, but I mean, in that setting, she was a pure sweetheart, man, and I loved it. Man. She seems genuine, real, pure. That's what I like in a girl. Y'all know that. So, all right, MF. Let's move on to the main event.
It's the main event. Tables, ladders, and chairs for the WWE World Title. AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose. The winner of the bout, still the WWE World Champion AJ Styles. We kind of were fearing that James Ellsworth was going to be a factor. Oh my God, was he a factor? He turns on Dean Ambrose, full-fledged heel, confirmed. AJ Styles keep the belt. 31 minutes, 3 seconds. Dee Woodson. What says you, my dear? What did you think about the main event?
For me, I would have rated this a 5-star if it wasn't for Ellsworth jumping in on this. But, like you said, everybody pretty much expected Ellsworth to come in. We all knew he would eventually turn on Ambrose, and he actually did. So I'm going to rate this about a 4.5 star match. Definitely one of the better TLC matches. I mean, wow, we got to see, two different sides of Ambrose at the same time. He did some of the comical Ambrose, but at the same time, he, in a weird way, I guess you could say, made it a little serious at the same time, as, he knew what was at stake, and he knew as the match drew out, to put the comedy aside and to focus on, the goal at the end, just to have it, snatched out of his hands by a little squirt pushing a ladder. I mean, we've seen this happen in other matches. Like Lita pushed a ladder in a tag team match. I've seen other competitors pushing the ladders. I mean, it's just it's just things that happen, and I'm not going to give them credit for doing that as to get the win for AJ, but congratulations to AJ for getting the title again, even if it was at the hands of a little weasel that we knew was going to turn on Ambrose. I did kind of think it was kind of funny. Ambrose set up 2 chairs on the ramp when they were fighting up the ramp, and then he sat down and was like, "Here, come on, let's have a little chit chat," and then ended up putting AJ's head, onto the chair. So yeah, it was a very intense match, very enjoyable. Definitely, kept you in tune. But like I said, I can't go much higher than 4.5. So, Florio, what's yours?
No, you're right. You're absolutely right, Dee Woodson. I mean, Ellsworth doesn't get involved. This is 5 stars easy, no doubt about it. And another match of the year candidate. It's still a match of the year candidate, no doubt about it, even though I don't have that as my match of the year, not by any means. My rating for it, I agree. Fight of the night, no doubt about it. 4.5 to 4 3/4 stars. That's the best I can give it. It was an amazing TLC match. Styles and Ambrose delivered one hell of a performance and blew away the strong ladder match from earlier in the show. The Ellsworth turn is the right move. WWE could have sent him home and let people miss him until the Royal Rumble and hope that fans would be happy to see him again. Instead, they pulled the trigger on the heel turn, and the timing is right given how overexposed he'd become, and with many in the live crowd booing his appearance. I suspect the same fans were chanting yes when he knocked Ambrose off the ladder. And it was an excellent, and to sum it all up, excellent TLC match, epic in length. I mean, over 30 minutes. I mean, 31 minutes and 10 seconds is what I have. Like I said, it was an excellent TLC match, epic in length. The Ellsworth finish is a major angle in the context of this storyline, but it could also be seen as, it will also be seen as tainting a great battle between Styles and Ambrose. With a better ending focused on Styles and Ambrose, this actually could have become match of the year for me. But anywho, the match was an excellent main event, and Styles continues to get the very best out of Ambrose. So that's all there is to say on that. So fight of the night, 4.5 to 4 3/4. Like I said, if Ellsworth didn't taint the bout, this would have been 5 easy. So with that being said, Michael Bullock, your thoughts on the main event?
Yeah, 4.5 to 4 3/4 of a star. Fight of the night, no doubt about it. Yeah, this would have been 5 stars, but James Ellsworth interfering really pretty much took away from me giving it a 5-star. I mean, like you said, Ambrose, Styles, they delivered with all the 6 spots that we saw in the match, especially what Ambrose did, actually putting a ladder on one of the announce tables. I mean, when was the last time you ever saw? I don't think I ever seen that. And he actually hit the elbow off the American announce table. So I know Fletcher must have been happy about that, instead of having the Spanish announce table get crushed like it does so many times. So yeah, we knew Ellsworth was going to turn heel and cost Ambrose the world title. So yep, AJ's still the champ, and now and now what's next for AJ Styles? Obviously, Royal Rumble, and it could be he may be facing a certain Phenom for the world title. Of course, we've been talking about it. We've been reading all the dirt sheets. It looks like they could have a AJ Styles versus The Undertaker for the WWE World Title at the Royal Rumble. I'd love to see that happen. I mean, and I'm pretty. I mean, I sent you guys that post about it via the Bleacher Report, and I don't know. Well, before we get to our overall thoughts on the show, Florio, I've talked to you all about it. What are your thoughts on it? Yay or nay?
Yay. Absolutely. I think it's going to happen. No doubt about it. I mean, there is the rumor about The Undertaker going up against John Cena at WrestleMania 33 for the WWE World Championship. I mean, a lot of dirt sheets are saying that that not only are they going to do The Undertaker versus AJ Styles for the WWE World Championship in the Alamo Dome, but a lot of the rumored dirt sheets are saying that The Undertaker is actually going to go over, win the belt, and then he will defend it against John Cena at WrestleMania, and then John Cena takes the belt off of Taker, hands him only his second loss in WrestleMania, and he ties Ric Flair's record. And I'll tell you right now, if that is indeed the direction they're going in when it comes to Taker and Cena, oh boy, that's all I'm going to say.
That'll definitely put some butts in the seats and eyes on the screen.
In the Citrus Bowl, oh yeah, no doubt about it. So, I mean, that new and improved Citrus Bowl, which looked amazing last night in that ACC title game with Clemson and Vautech. So all I can say on that. So when it comes down to it, if that's the direction they go, Taker and Cena, wow, it would be the dream match we all wanted. And who knows, could it be? And if they do it, we could be looking at not only a 5-star classic, but we could be looking at one of the most emotionally charged WrestleMania matches of all time. Because remember, there are also some rumors saying that The Undertaker could be retiring, that this WrestleMania could be the final one for The Undertaker. So we're going to have to wait and see on that. So I pretty much give you my thoughts on it. So if there's nothing else, I think it's time to get into our overall.
I want to ask Fletch this. What do you think?
Yeah, make it an open,
yay or
let's
nay?
make it an open forum. Let's get everybody's thoughts on this.
Yeah, yay or nay, Fletch?
About?
About the Taker and Styles at the Royal Rumble.
Oh, I think it's gonna happen.
But what about the direction that Florio and I just talked about.
I don't know. That's the one thing I'm a little worried about. Is I know they want to make WrestleMania really big and it'll be a great show in the whole 9 yards, but at what benefit would it be for Taker and Cena to go at it? Don't get me wrong, but there's also been some talk about that Cena might not be, that he might be done soon with wrestling altogether. With movies, with all this other stuff going on in his life. Plus, we already talked about Taker and his age and the whole 9 yards. So I don't know. I don't know what the future may hold. And plus, AJ's has such momentum right now. I don't know if it would be the right move to take the belt off him. I think they should have him go all the way to WrestleMania with the belt, and then we'll go from there. But I think if they do Taker and Styles, which it sounds like they're probably gonna, yes, I would say Taker's probably the favorite, but don't get me wrong, I'd rather see AJ Styles as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. I'm sorry. I disagree with both you and Anthony on this one. I kind of feel like if you go for if you're going for nostalgic for the good moment, okay, fine. I'll give you Taker, and I say Taker win the belt. But if you want the right now, the hottest superstar in WWE right now, it's phenomenal AJ Styles. No questions asked. So, just my thoughts alone.
I think they might want to have Taker go over because remember, this is the 30th edition of the Royal Rumble. You're going to have a big crowd at the Alamo Dome, and I think if you want to have some Shakespearean drama and have some surprises, I think this would be the time to have Taker go over and maybe give him at least one more run. Maybe not a long run, but maybe one more run with the world title before his career is over. I'm not saying like a long 3, 4, maybe 5 month run, but maybe just long enough where he could drop the belt at WrestleMania. I mean, that's how I see it possibly going down, and I think it makes sense to have John Cena be the guy to do it because remember, for so many years, people have been wanting to see Taker and Cena go at it at WrestleMania, and I think to have this happen at WrestleMania 33 for the world title, that would make it even more interesting. But like I said, that's just how I feel. So D.D. Woodson, an open forum. Do you have anything to say about the rumored match between Taker and Styles at the Royal Rumble?
Not a lot, but I think it probably will happen though. So I'm going to kind of leave it at that.
All right, let's get to our overall thoughts on this SmackDown Live exclusive TLC.
All right, open forum on that one. Anybody who wants to jump on it, you can go right ahead. Who wants to lead off on the overall review?
I do. I got it. This is an easy one for me. 7.5 to 8 out of 10. I felt that TLC was a very good show filled with a ton of effort. It was enjoyable with 2 title changes, an excellent main event, and a change in directions to some of the stories. Whoops, that's storyline progression. Last time I checked, with some ending and new ones beginning. It was a very enjoyable show. It was a really good show with a white hot main event, and I mean, the main event, like I said, stole the show. AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose, damn near 5-star classic, if not for Ellsworth. But that was coming. The Ellsworth interference was coming. Everybody, their mother knew he was going to get involved. Let's not kid ourselves. But the spots in that match were just some of the sickest spots I've ever seen. I mean, AJ with that. I mean, Ambrose setting up the ladder on the announce table, and then with the elbow dive through. On top, I mean, that elbow, that Shawn Michaels like elbow onto AJ Styles. I mean, Mauro Ranallo lost his mind on commentary, which was freaking awesome. He let out the biggest "Mamma Mia" I've ever heard. Oh, Mauro Ranallo, unbelievable work, my friend. Awesome, awesome. That's why he's WWE's #1 announcer. Sorry, Michael Cole, your days are long gone. Even though I respect you, man. Even though because you are a Raw guy, but boy, howdy. That I mean, those spots in that match. I mean, the chairs. I mean, I don't even know where I can begin after that. I mean, I was so blown away. I'm not even here right now. I mean, 7.5 to 8 out of 10. Like I said, Styles and Ambrose steal the show. Miz and Ziggler, another classic out of those two. I'm not at all surprised with that. Chairs match. What? Whoa, where did that come from? I couldn't believe how damn good that chair match was. Like I said, it was the best one ever. And MF's got to watch it to confirm it with us. And I know once he watches it, I will be shocked if he doesn't agree with us. Or me, rather, because I'm the one who said it was the best one ever. And Alexa Bliss becoming the new women's champion. Well done, darling. I mean, that's my girl right there. That's my my fellow August 9th girl did it, and I'm not at all surprised. I mean, there was a snickering that she could have done it, and I should have had more faith in her, like I said, but, you know, it is what it is. And worst fight of the night, I mean, no question about it. It was the tag team title fight. But other than that, though, I mean, this was a really, really good show. And like I said, it was filled with a ton of effort, enjoyable, 2 championships changed hands, a main event for the ages, storyline progression at its absolute finest, and new stories are beginnings. I mean, some stories are ending. We got new ones beginning. Very enjoyable show. Damn good show with one of the most white hot main events I've seen in a long time. So there's really nothing left for me to say on it. So 7.5 to 8 out of 10. That's my rating for TLC. SmackDown Live delivers again. I'm not at all surprised. I can't wait for Tuesday night's show. And it's already been announced that James Ellsworth is going to challenge AJ Styles for the WWE World Championship. Watch out for Dean Ambrose. That's all I'm saying. So, with that being said, Michael Bullock, your overall thoughts on this white hot event tonight?
Yeah, 7.5 to 8 out of 10 is my rating for this TLC pay-per-view. Yeah, I agree with everything. The fight of the night was most definitely the TLC match with AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose. Second best fight of the night, the Intercontinental Championship ladder match. The sleeper fight of the night, Baron Corbin and Kalisto. You also had a good SmackDown Women's Championship match, and yeah, I mean, there's really nothing else to say. So 7.5 to 8 out of 10. So Dee Woodson, what's your thoughts on it? Uh, is she there?
I'm here. I'm sorry. Was talking with a coworker. I'm going to give it 7 out of 10 stars, and I'm going to leave it at that because I'm getting right off work here in about 5.
All right, very well, guys. And we're going to end the show here tonight. What an amazing evening this has been. Thank you so much for watching this, guys. Please leave a comment, like the video, share it with all your friends on all the social media platforms. Tomorrow night, Cerebral Smack. It is actually ridiculously raw. Cerebral Smack Talk goes down on Tuesday night, guys. So ridiculously raw. Anthony Floyo goes. He's hosting it on the Tone 25. You know what he does? Monday Night Raw. Wow, I don't know what just happened there. The link just dropped me for a second there. All right, so I was gonna say final battle went down, and we have a new world champion that was crowned. Who is that? You'll find out on Tuesday night. So until then, for Anthony Florio, for Michael Bullock, for Dee Woodson, I'm Mike Fletcher. You know the routine, everybody. 100 pounds. We're out. Good night. So long for now. We'll see you tomorrow night for Ridiculously Raw on YouTube.com. Good night.